What's going on, guys? The Comics Kid 2099 here. Welcome to day 318 of the 365-day graphic novel review challenge. Today I want to talk to you about Master of Kung Fu. This is one of the tie-ins to the 2015 Secret Wars miniseries. This is written by Haden Blackman with art by Dalibor Taljic. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And this is the story of Shang-Chi. He has an evil father, Zhang Zhu, who is the emperor of one portion of Battleworld. In the events of Secret Wars, there were a whole bunch of alternate realities that were all combined into one gigantic super reality. And in this particular portion of Battleworld, everyone is a martial artist, and Shang-Chi's father is the emperor of this particular region, and every 13 years there is a martial arts tournament to determine who the next emperor is going to be. And Shang-Chi's father has been the emperor for quite a while, and now several people are wanting to enter the tournament, and we get to see Shang-Chi rise from being pretty much a worthless drunk who became a worthless drunk for a specific reason, and that's kind of a reveal later on in the miniseries, so I won't talk too much about that, but we get to see him go from being pretty much just a drunk who has thrown his life away to kind of reclaiming his life and finding a purpose in his life once again. And I like this book quite a bit. If you remember in yesterday's review of the Deadly Hands of Kung Fu miniseries, I talked about how Shang-Chi is a little bit of a problematic character in this day and age. And really, I would almost go so far as to say that martial arts characters in general are kind of problematic in this day and age. You have Iron Fist, who recently had his own Netflix series, and a lot of people, before they had even seen a single minute of the Iron Fist Netflix series, they were complaining that you have this white guy who is taking on the role of a martial arts champion, and they felt like that should be something that is played by an Asian man. And then you have something like Shang-Chi, where I feel like if they did a Shang-Chi Netflix series, and this is just me assuming what would happen, I believe if you did that, then you would have people complain, you're going to typecast this Asian guy as a martial arts champion. Why can't he be anything else? Why can't you have him be a super soldier or something like that? So I feel like no matter which direction you go with this type of story, you're going to have people who are going to complain about it. And this book completely bypasses that by having everyone in the story be a martial arts character. And that's something you can do in an alternate reality story that you couldn't do nearly as well in a story set in the Marvel Universe. For example, in the main Marvel Universe, Captain America is not a martial arts champion. But here we have members of the Morlocks who are martial arts students, and then you have Sabretooth, or at least a version of Sabretooth that's actually a woman. You have Moon Knight, you have Spider-Woman, the Jessica Drew version, you have Karnak of the Inhumans, you have, I think, the Black Panther, he's there, you've got Namor, he's a martial artist who trained his lungs so that he could breathe water. I thought that was kind of cool. You've got pretty much every character who shows up here is a martial arts character, or at least an archetype that you would see in a martial arts story. For example, Norrin Rad is here, and he is not the Silver Surfer, he is just a messenger who works for Zhang Zhu. And I really like this story a lot. Another reason I like it a lot is that it barely even ties in with Secret Wars. Now, that's nothing against Secret Wars. I still haven't read it. What I like about some of these minis is that they stand completely on their own, and you don't even need to know what's going on in Secret Wars. I think at one point in this book, they might have mentioned that Doom, Dr. Doom, is the God Emperor of the planet. Other than that, this pretty much stands on its own as its own little alternate reality martial arts comic, and I love it for that. I could hand this to anybody who doesn't know anything about comic books, and they could enjoy this if they're into the martial arts thing. Which, honestly, after reading this, I have to say, why wouldn't you be into the martial arts thing? I think it's cool. Maybe that sounds a little bit condescending, and I don't mean it to be. I, myself, do not practice martial arts in the real world. I know people who have done it, and they're not even trying to do it for like self-defense or with a purpose of getting into a fight. They do it for the purpose of kind of a spiritual cleansing, if you will. I've heard people talk about that before. So it is a real thing. It's not something that, it's all about the cool moves and stuff like that. But there is also a sub-type in pop culture where you get to see a lot of that in action. And I love seeing that, even if you might say, well, that's not what it's like in the real world. And this is just a condensation of all of that into the span of 4 issues. And I love it a lot. This is one of the tie-ins to Secret Wars that I will definitely be rereading several times in the future. So those are my thoughts on Master of Kung Fu. I hope that you guys liked this review, and if you did, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back tomorrow with a different video. In the meantime, you guys have a great rest of the day. Catch you later.